Okay, children. So let's begin with the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is made up of two words. What are those two words? Photo, that means light, synthesis, to make something, we call it as synthesis. Okay? So, this process is used up by the plants. Why? To make the food. The process basically helps the plant to make the glucose, okay, which they store in the form of starch, which is their actual food, and helps to liberate out the oxygen. So this process happens only when there is what is there? The presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll. That means the leaves, they do appear green in color because chlorophyll is present in them. Chlorophyll is important because it has certain complexes. Chlorophyll basically is made up of certain complexes. Which type of complexes? Certain chemical complexes that helps the sunlight which helps the sunlight to get trapped. Okay, so chlorophyll helps the sunlight to trap and converts carbon dioxide into glucose and oxygen. So oxygen is basically given out and glucose is transported to up to some amount up till or into the certain plants or parts of the plant of the same plant body, like certain growing leaves, growing birds, flower birds. They need food in order to grow. That is why certain amount of glucose is transported to them, but the rest amount is stored in form of starch. So here in the next slide you may see that the site of photosynthesis. Before I come to the site of photosynthesis, we would see the chemical reaction or the representation of the photosynthesis is carbon dioxide, okay, plus water. When carbon dioxide and water is given out, is taken in by the plant. So what is given out? It is given out, or the thing that is made, C6H12O6, that is the glucose and O2. Okay. So CO2 plus H2O gives out C6H12O6 and O2. But in the presence of two things, that is sunlight and chlorophyll. If either of this factor is absent, then the process will not take place. So it is very much important that the sunlight and chlorophyll is present together to continue the process of this representation or the photosynthesis. Next, let's come upon the site. So the site of photosynthesis, if you see, is basically the chloroplast. Okay, where you will see that the plant, first of all, let's see what is chloroplast. Plant cells, they do have all the cell organelles, but the chloroplast is present only in the plant cell and is not present in the animal cell. Chloroplast basically contains the chlorophyll. Okay, chloroplast has grana. Okay, they have 9 piles of flattened sacs. These 9 piles of flattened sacs, these are those 9 piles of flattened sacs. Okay, they piled up like this. Okay, they are flat. That is why they are piled like. They are piled or they are kept on one another, I mean to say. So this together, these grana, the piling of grana, they make the structure which is known as thylakoid. This single flattened structure is granum, and when it is stacked, when it is piled up, it is known as thylakoids. Thylakoids, they have membrane which contain protein that have chlorophyll. Okay? And this chlorophyll is very much important that I said for the process of photosynthesis as it helps in trapping of sunlight. Stroma is a liquid matrix. This white part where you may see this granular structure suspended. Okay, this is called stroma. It's a fluid thing. So, role of stomata. Now, one of the very important thing is that what is the role of stomata? Role of stomata in photosynthesis is very vital as first of all, it has been the stomata has been taken from a Greek term stoma, which means mouth. Mouth means which can open and close. Why? Because stomata can also open and close. Okay, it help in. Okay, there's a typing error over here. It will be there like help in. Okay, it helps in. They are basically guarded by two guard cells. These are two guard cells. These are guard cells. Okay. And helps in the gaseous exchange. It helps in the gaseous exchange. When it is open, gas may go in and come out. And at a certain time period, it remains closed. It is found on the epidermal layer of the leaf surface. That means at the top layer, on the top layer of the leaf surface, you will find the stomata. The opening of stoma is guarded by the two guard cells. This opening and closing of stomata, right, you may see here, right now it is open. Okay, this one is open form, this is closed form. So this opening and closing is guided up by the guard cells. Okay. Next, here we will see that how does it work. When does it get open and when does it get closed? So you may see that guard cell is there, and these guard cells, they also contain chloroplast. This is the epidermal cell, and every epidermal cell contains the nucleus. So the entry of water into the guard cell, and it helps in the stimuli towards the light. That helps the stomata to get open. That means here the H2O is written. Now see the position of the arrow. That means when H2O move from epidermal cells towards the guard cell, the guard cell, what does happen to that? It gets swell. It swell up. And when the guard cell swell up, this aperture, this way gets open. Now here you may see the direction of the guard cell. The arrow. The direction of the arrow. That means when water goes out from the guard cell into the epidermal cell. So what happens to the guard cell? It shrinks. And when the guard cell shrinks, the aperture, this door, get closed. Okay. So stomata usually open during day and closes at night because during day the process of photosynthesis goes on, and during the process of photosynthesis water is continuously absorbed by the plant from the soil by the roots and is sent up to all plant cells, and therefore guard cells, they take up the water and opens. And at night, when there is no need of photosynthesis or there is no sunlight, therefore the photosynthesis cannot happen, the water requirement lower down in each and every cell of the plant. Therefore, the water travels back to the epidermal or other cells, and the guard cell shrinks and the stomata get closed. And therefore, if there is no photosynthesis, there is no need of exchange of gases too, because only during the photosynthesis carbon dioxide is taken in and O2 is given out. Okay, and during the absence of photosynthesis, O2 is taken up by the plant like us and CO2 is given out, but it is so less in concentration that such big aperture is not needed, such big way or passage is not needed, and most of the stomata remains closed during the night. That's all, students. I hope it is clear to you all. Now next we will discuss about the factors affecting the photosynthesis. Thank you.